Hi guys, I'm gonna make a video about losing Zeke the other day. These are the two dogs. This is Barkley, this is Rose, that he was with. We're at my client's house and there's Zeke. We're out in the backyard right now and it's contained, it's safe. So what had happened, this was about a week ago, and these dogs, I mean, all of my clients' dogs at this point, a lot of people ask, like, when can you let a dog off leash, right? The bottom line is like the trust that you have with the dog. I'm gonna watch and make sure they're not overwhelming Zeke for a second. Barkley fell. They're okay. And like all my clients' dogs that I walk every day, they're so used to the routine. They just get in the car and go, right? I made the biggest mistake. Zeke running away was entirely my fault. I got these two dogs back in their crates, right? And Zeke I left here in the backyard. And a little bit about Zeke is he on his little doctor's note says he's anywhere from like 6 to 7 years old, right? He has been a feral breeding dog that just lives outside for like his entire life, so 6 or 7 years, right? Where he doesn't know humans, he doesn't have human touch, he does not like to be touched or anything. We're still working on it with positive reinforcement and stuff. And so this is a dog I've had for about 6 months, right? When you have a dog for about 6 months, you've heard the 3 days, 3 week, 3 month, like kind of point of reference for, hey, leave him alone for a second. They're okay, but Barkley's kind of wanting to be in his face, which is fine. Zeke's smelling him from behind anyways. So again, like when you learn about, or when you decide to take or like trust your dog off leash, again, you should really never trust your dog off leash unless you're doing e-collar work, right? But as a professional, again, this is a huge mistake, right? I can kind of read the body language and tell. I mean, I made the biggest mistake ever. So these two were back in their crates, and Zeke's leash, he's wearing all of his gear, he's wearing his collars, and he's wearing his GPS right now. If you can see, this was exactly what he had on him last week. It was on last Wednesday. And I put them away. I opened the gate. They went right into their crate, right? And so I came back for Zeke. I literally had Zeke's leash in my hand. And within a split second, I decided to trust him, thinking that he would, we call it load up, right? I open my car door, load up, and he jumps right in my car and he goes to the passenger seat. I don't even know why in that moment or like how, but I literally did not think ahead. I literally just assumed he was gonna do it. Again, I've been being a dog trainer for like 5 years at this point. I mean, I make mistakes, and that should go to show just how easy it is anybody to make a mistake, right? They're all loving on him right now. Hey, you wanna give him a break a little bit? Good dogs. I think I'm out of my treats. Anyways, so again, I opened the gate. My car was right there. I mean, like 2 feet away. And he came out. I said, Zeke, load up. He kept going and he never turned around. He never even looked back at me. And I proceeded to do probably everything wrong, right? Screaming, running, like everything you're not supposed to do. But this dog has absolutely no recall. He doesn't even walk around in the house yet, which is so heartbreaking. We use our leash and we guide him around the house to different places that he can lay down and sit. So he just does not make decisions. Like, he really struggles to make any type of decision. Let me see this for a second. Easy. Hey, come here, dogs. Over here. Good. Come on, Zeke. See, right now I'm trying to call him and he's over there. Here, we can go use this as like a little bit. Where are you, Zeke? There he is. All right, guys, come on back. We'll see if he comes, right? Usually he follows the pack, but sometimes he doesn't. Come on, Zeke. See, he's not really even caring. Here he comes, a little bit, barely. But again, he does what... All right, so I've moved spots. They seem to want to be in the shade up here, which is completely fine. I'm gonna put you right here. Anyways, right, we're just at the point where I literally let the gate open, and he just left. Like, no looking back. I didn't even put a leash. I didn't even put a leash on him. Like, oh, it's just so ignorant, right? He's gone. I mean, he is completely running across the street. He's across other people's yards. I literally like ran so hard I fell flat on my face. At that point, I run as fast as I can, get in my car. I left, like, I had a Frisbee out and like some other equipment, left them in my client's driveway, right? And I drive my car as fast as I can. Zeke's literally running down the middle of the street. He's just running down the middle of the street. And so I take my car and I like try to cut him off and like put him in a little grass area. I drove into the, like it's like woods, right? Woods, country, cornfields. So I drove into this little spot and I tried to get him and I was like, Zeke, load up, like trying to just like say that command that he has done. But again, he's never done it without a leash. That's why it's so ignorant. It's okay. You know, mistakes were made. I've learned from them and now Zeke is home. So everything is, thank God, okay. But anyways, he's gone. I mean, if I had a leash on him, I could have caught him multiple times, right? Just stepping on the leash, grabbing the leash. When I cornered him with my car, he was so close I could have grabbed the leash right there. So again, it's just a mistake. So at that point, I mean, I've already chased him. He is totally in fight or flight mode. He is, I mean, I can see his eyes. He is gone. Like, he is acting like a feral dog again. Like, as he would, right? You've heard people say that, you know, if their dog has been lost so many days or whatever, or lost at all, that they go back to almost like fight or flight mode and they're like kind of blinded in a way. So at this point, right, he is all the way just sprinting in cornfields. Make sure they're doing okay. And thank God he has his Fi tracker. So I pull up on my phone the app, the Fi app, right? And he's trying to kind of push his way, just put his head through the fence. I'll watch that. The Fi app is his GPS collar. Yeah, see, even if I kind of like put my hand out to ask him to come here, these dogs, but Zeke won't. So hopefully one day, right? But still, he just doesn't come. That's why this whole thing was like just horrible, because he does not come. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. Hey, buddy. Like, he'll stop. That was jealous. He'll stop and let me like put my hand out and scratch his head barely, but that's about it. Anyways, okay, so he's running through the cornfield and I have my app on. I mean, he is running so fast. When I get to his spot, he's gone, right? Hey, give him a break. Give him a break. So it just feels like impossible. At this point, I call Kyle, my boyfriend, literally screaming. And I'm like, Zeke's gone. I lost him. Like, I'm not even really making sense right now. I'm gonna see if I can turn the camera down so you guys can see the dogs that are being moved here. So anyways, I'll try to see, quit. So anyways, I can't even remember what I was saying. Zeke's gone, right? I'm just chasing him through the cornfields, looking at my phone. I called Kyle. Kyle is going to come. But I literally didn't even tell Kyle, good boy. I didn't even tell Kyle like where I was, right? So Kyle ended up going like home. And so that also was like a delay in time. But I called Bethany. Bethany is the owner of the Fluffy Puppy Grooming Salon, who I rent my space from, and she's like my godmom, literally. She's like my guardian angel. And she drops everything and comes immediately, right? And she even brings one of her dogs, who Zeke has lived with her before, and I took him from her. And so the dog knows him. So we tried to do, when, you know, like we kept kind of locating him. We were parking in like random people's driveways and like telling them, hey, we're trying to find my lost dog, please, we're begging, right? And people were very nice. Nobody was weird about it. Everyone was really, really nice. So we're just bouncing from place to place. Like the whole ordeal was probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours. We're bouncing from place to place, place to place. He's going across the river, right? He's going across like cornfields, like keep going. So we're all, I mean, just getting absolutely scratched up, you know, thorns in the woods and like the mud and everything. So who all ended up coming, it was me, Kyle, Bethany and her husband Bill, and then her best friend Lindsay. And so what we did was we all, good dogs, we all came together and kind of like cornered him, right? It took all of us. I mean, there is no way I could have done it alone or just me and Kyle. Kyle didn't even have the app on his phone, which is like a huge mistake. He needs to get that app on his phone so he could see, right? My phone was dying at one point. It was literally at 6%. At the end of it, when we found him, it was at 6%. So it was just like, could not have been in a better time to get him. the final ending, how we got him. I mean, we had been chasing him, you know, I mean, it's just all back and forth. Let me see if I can get him in the camera a little bit. Oh, he's gonna get up. There he is. And he moved, of course. Hey, Zeke. Yeah, see, nothing. He's still over there. You can't even really see him. Anyways, guys, we finally found him. He was just exhausted, right? I mean, he's exhausted. He had been sprinting as hard as he could. We did finally see him. There he is. We've spotted him on a train track, right? So we had me and Kyle on one end, and we had the others on the other end. So we were going to try to like kind of meet him in the middle with their dog, and so that their dog could kind of pick up Zeke, and he could kind of, you know, and they missed each other. Like Zeke literally bailed and went right and left the railroad tracks. So that was another just like opportunity missed at kind of towards the beginning, and we were just like, oh my God. So there you go, see you later now. Let's see what they do. Anyways, guys, the very final end was we were able to catch him, right? Hey, it's enough, leave him alone. They're not being mean. Zeke's just kind of like, he doesn't love to have, you know, unlimited dogs in his face. He wants to have his face a little bit. He was laying down. Lindsay had literally seen him in the woods, and she was like, hi, Zeke, and was kind of talking to him. He also poked his head out and saw me at one point, and I was like, all right, Zeke, let's go. Totally turned around and ran for me. Like, I felt like he was running from me, like, specifically because I had chased him. He probably was. Like, even though he's my dog, he's been with me for 6 months, he is so particular and peculiar. Like, we love him so much, but he is the... I hate calling dogs broken, but he's like the most broken dog I've ever been with, and I've trained a lot of dogs. And so anyways, again, like finally he's laying down, and Lindsay absolutely dove to get him in the woods and everything. I mean, it was just an absolute miracle. If he hadn't had his collar, I mean, there would be no way. We're by woods, we're by country. There is literally no way that we would have caught this dog because he is such a runner. The only way I think is if he would have gotten trapped in somebody's backyard or like behind a fence. That was what I was hoping, is that we were going to find him trapped behind. It's just something where he can't move, so we could come around and get him, because he is so fight or flight. He's going to run every single time. So the bottom line, I mean, is just that mistakes are so often made, right? Even by a dog trainer. And I don't want to even say it humbled me, because I know when this field, it's like when you're working with a dog, you can try something and it doesn't work, then you try something else and it does work. So do you want to call that first try a failure? Do you know what I mean? But like, failure is so common, where it's like the dog doesn't do what you want, so you have to try something else. I shouldn't say it's not that common, but like, again, it's trial and error in a way. Whereas some other jobs, maybe it's like you can't make errors at all. To kind of put it in perspective. So I make errors all the time, because I'm even 5 years in, I still learn every single day. He teaches me every single day about a different type of dog I've never worked with, this fearful, this almost like feral still kind of behavior. So without the help of everyone, Bill, Bethany, and Lindsay, there's no way we would have found my dog. And I mean, everybody knows how horrible it is, and the feeling. It's absolutely like gut wrenching. And I'm just so lucky. I will never, this fly collar, never coming off his neck. I mean, when I first kind of got him too, we were already so careful anyways, where it was just like, oh, he's always on his leash. Like, we needed it, but like we were kind of like taking advantage of it in a way. Unbelievable. Like, how much it's important. A lot of people do apple tags. Apple tags are great. There he goes. They're gonna go back in the yard. So even if you know your dog, you think you know your dog, right? Literally, mistakes can happen. Obviously, hey, Zeke. See if he'll come. There, Barkley comes. See? So again, it's just like, mistakes happen. If you are, yeah, he don't want anything to do with me right now. You know, it's just all about trying to think ahead. I absolutely did not think ahead in that moment. Totally screwed up. I am the luckiest girl in the world to have everybody come help me, and that he had his collar on. I mean, I was devastated. Kyle and I and everybody who helped, we went home and we were all physically ill because of the adrenaline and because of just the physicality needed to find this dog. Kyle and I were sick for like a couple days, honestly. We just were not okay. And there's also that feeling that not a lot of people talk about where with Zeke, it's almost like kind of a losing battle with him because we love him. We want him, hey, leave it. We love him, we want him to love us, and then something like that happens and it almost feels like a slap in the face, right? You have to try to tell yourself to not feel that way, as hard as it is, because he can't help it, right? They literally can't help it. That was complete human error. I mean, I let him go. I opened the door. What else is a dog gonna do? He's gonna go. So it's all about just trying to learn from your mistakes. Anything can happen. If any moral of this story goes is have your dog tracked, you know, fly collar, GPS, Apple tag, right, whatever it is, and leash your dog, you know what I mean? Like, e-collar training is phenomenal. I've got one dog that I walk who is she's pretty up on e-collar, and she's, and kind of like Barkley, like, they've already been trained by me enough. Here. He was trying to sit down, and I made him come over here, where they're generally not gonna go wait from you. But then if you add an e-collar on top of it, it's like the cherry on top, right? But I would still not, I would still not let him off leash, even though I know that he would come to me. I've made the mistake of doing that in the past with my dogs that I like trust, right? And it's never like burned me, but obviously with Zeke it did, but it's just not cool. Like, it's not, a lot of people think like it's so cool to be able to do that, but even a dog trainer who was like 3 years in or so was still doing these mistakes. So it's just so common. Leash your dog, guys. That's like the best moral of the story. Keep your dog safe. It's hot. That's why we're sitting here today. We're not going on a full walk. We're just running out in the backyard for a little bit. And then they're going to get a frozen treat. So yeah, hug your dogs tighter. It can happen to literally anyone. So thank you guys for following along, and comment me if you have any questions or you have anything that you want me to talk about for next time. And yeah, I love my dogs. I'm so relieved. Like, I mean, everyone knows the feeling, right? So love your dogs, take care of them, and watch them, and just be smart is the best moral of the story. So, all right, thanks for watching. Good dogs. You didn't want yours, buddy? All right, I also thought it'd be a good idea to film me getting Zeke to put his leash back on, right? Because he runs. He does not have a recall. These two dogs are literally so easy. Like, they're gonna come every time. In fact, they would just go right back to their crate. If I open the door, they'd go. So first thing that I did was I had everybody come in, and we're all on the porch right here. These two, we're all tired. We're ready to go. Here's Barkley. And I blocked off the exit, right? Could a dog still go through this? Yeah, absolutely. Zeke could totally go underneath it. It's just kind of a barrier to help. If he runs, I'll have to corner him in a different way, right? You want to go slow. You don't want to like do what I did where I'm screaming, like running after him right when he was gone. So honestly, even if I had just stood there, he would have been gone either. So it was kind of a losing anyway. So here we go. I'm gonna have the camera to see if I can catch me getting him, but I want to get him over here, right? Because one, that's kind of by the door, so I can just get him and go, and two, it's a good place that I can corner him for me. Perfect. He's right here. Looks like my frisbee that stayed the night had some work done on it, thanks to Mr. Barkley over there. All right, so let's see what happens here. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna kind of let all the dogs mingle together here. Now is a good opportunity for me to move because Barkley's behind him, but I'm gonna take a step to the right. See how he's already moving away? Yep. So we kind of have to do this a little slowly. I'm gonna give him a command. Zeke, stay. See how he's already kind of moving? So I'm gonna get down lower. Ciao. Leave it. I'm gonna show him the leash. See, he's already kind of backing up over here. Right, he's backing up from me still. So I'm probably gonna have to get another chair to help me out. Show my hand. Beautiful, he let me catch him. Very good, Zeke. Now, as soon as I stood up and like moved, right, he kind of wanted to back away, but he let me get him, so that was perfect. Very good, very good. All right, time to put these dogs away. Thanks, guys.